As of now, Real Madrid is 12 points behind Barca, which means La Liga title is done for Real Madrid. It's just about formality. So today we'll discuss what went wrong for Real Madrid. So if we look at the tables right now, FC Barcelona is 68 points and Real Madrid is 56 points, which is 12 points adrift. If you look at the goal difference, as you can see, Barca had 49 goals. Real Madrid had 51 goals forwarded. On the other hand, Barcelona conceded only 9 goals compared to Real Madrid conceded 21 goals. So that's a huge difference defensive-wise. But the most important one is where they lost the points. As you can see, Real Madrid had 5 draws, Barca had 2 draws. Also, Real Madrid had 4 losses compared to Barca's 2 losses, which is the reason why Real Madrid is 12 points adrift from Barca. Now, if we compare Real Madrid's point table up to this time and compared to last season when Real Madrid won the La Liga title, as you can see, when Real Madrid was top of the table after match day 26, they had 60 points. And Sevilla was 54 points. And Barca had only 45 points. That is 15 points difference at that time. Also, if you focus on Real Madrid's goal difference, 52 goals scored and 20 goals conceded, which means that this stats is pretty much similar to what we have now. Which tell us one thing. The main thing that differentiates Real Madrid this season and last season's is that Real Madrid did not progress. On the other hand, Barca progressed a lot. Now, to give you a little bit context, last season when Real Madrid won the La Liga title, Barca had won the worst La Liga season ever. And Real Madrid almost had no competition from any other teams. So it was easy. That was an achievement for Real Madrid, given we had a new coach. So we can understand that winning a La Liga title, that's a huge achievement. Because when a new coach joins a new team, that's not an easy job to do. But Carlo did a good job. He won the La Liga title playing pragmatic football. So going from last year to coming this year, one thing Real Madrid had to do is progression. You cannot keep the same tactics and play same football. You have to improve your play style, which Real Madrid didn't. As a result, Real Madrid became stagnant. On the other hand, Barca climbed the stairs so fast. So to discuss what went wrong for Real Madrid, I asked a question, a poll in my community tab in YouTube. I had 4 options. One was Barca's form. Barca's form, I didn't mean that they're playing superb, but they're winning match. They're playing pragmatic football. As a result, they're winning. The second option was Carlos' tactics, which I'll discuss later. And another option was squad depth. And another option was others, which I asked you to put any other things that you think are responsible for Real Madrid's not winning La Liga title this season. So let's point out the first point, Barca's form. If you look at Real Madrid last season, we had a stretch of I think 10 to 12 big games in La Liga. And Real Madrid has won all of them. And that was the main reason why Real Madrid was successful last season. This year, Barca had a similar stretch and they won almost all the big games. And that's why they were successful this season. Besides, Barca played pragmatic football. They played what they needed to do to win the match. Because in football, it's not about how you play, how beautiful possession, whatever you say. But it's all about winning a match. That's what Barca did. The second point was Carlos' tactics. I think this is a huge, many people undervalue how important of the tactics in football. Sometimes you don't have the best squad. I agree. If you look at our squad, we don't have the best squad depth in terms of attacking side. If you look at our squad, we don't have a natural right winger. And alongside with that, Benzema's form. Benzema is not in his best. Last season, Benzema had his best season ever. Again, let's not forget Benzema's age. He's 35 years old, so it's not unexpected he might lose form. So we don't have the backup for Benzema. That's another point. But for me, when you have a coach, you have to make decisions and get the best out of what you have. It's not all about buying new players, get the best of the best in the world. It's all about getting best out of you have. And tactically, I think we have done many things wrong. For example, after the World Cup, Ceballos was one of the best midfielder in terms of form. He wasn't given chance recent matches. Another point is they're playing Fede Valverde at right winger. I don't think that's his natural position. At times, yeah, he can be played when you need to. But most of the times, if you are a Fede Valverde, you cannot waste his talents playing there. Because Fede Valverde is a player every football club, all the top football clubs would love to have him. Because he's a player with so much energy and intensity. He can do so much at midfield. Third point, there's no right winger. Now, when Real Madrid plays, it's one-sided, one-dimensional football. There is no variety because all about pass to Vinicius and do something. It's like Vinicius and Inshallah, people say in comment section. In football, you have to have different plan, different setup. You have to attack from every possible side. You cannot just attack from one side and leave other side alone. Another point is that not giving Castilla players their opportunity. In fact, when we gave Castilla players their chance, they have shown glimpse of brightness. They have shown their talents. Like Alvaro is one of them who has shown that he's capable of playing for the first team. But unfortunately, Carlo doesn't trust our Castilla players, which is really problematic. For me, if you're a Real Madrid coach, you have to give these Castilla players their opportunity because these players joined this club because this club is one of the best in the world. Let's focus on the third option, is squad depth. This is true that we don't have the best squad depth, especially in our attack. If you look at our midfield, yeah, we have probably the best midfield depth in the world right now. Also, we don't have enough depth in our defense, especially right back and left back. In left back, Mendy lost form this year, and he was also injured for a lot of matches. And on the right side, Carvajal is out of form since that Liverpool game last year in Champions League final. And those two positions are so vital in football. And for our lack of squad depth, our club hierarchy is also responsible. For example, if you look at our right side, there's literally none who can play in that side. The only player who can play, Rodrigo, but apparently his best position is behind the striker as a false nine. So aside from these points, I think there's also a lot of other points we can discuss. For example, we can say that lack of desire in La Liga. If you see our players' performance in Champions League, and if you compare that to La Liga teams and La Liga matches, it's day and night difference. You can see that the body language from these players, they don't have the same passion in La Liga matches. So let's quickly react to what you have said was responsible for Real Madrid's failure this season in La Liga. Madrid man said we got outplayed by mid-table teams way too often. Lost to Mallorca and draw to smaller teams cost us. Well, we can visibly see that we lost 4 matches, which is not acceptable if you want to win the La Liga title. Another person said you literally get around the same points as you got now every year. He's comparing to last year, which I already said. And what he said is that Barca is the reason why we are losing. That's true. Barca got way better than we are. In fact, if you look at Barca's defense, they considered a single digit this season in La Liga, which says a lot. So to summarize what went wrong this season, first of all, our failure to improve from last season. And the other factors include squad depth is not good enough, especially in our attack, and our decision making, especially some tactics in certain matches weren't good enough and we lost points. Also, a lot of players are not in their best form, say Carvajal, Benzema, Mendy, and so on. So let me know if I have missed any important points which you think are responsible for Real Madrid's failure in La Liga this season. Comment below in the comment section.